Thom Hartmann here on the best of the rest of economic and labor news. You need to know this. According to the Economic Policy Institute, a family of four needs an income of at least $60,000 a year to reach an adequate but modest living standard. But half of all Americans make less than that amount. Less than half of that amount, in fact. Paul Buchheit over at Alternet reports that new Social Security Administration data shows that 1 out of every 2 Americans is living in or damn near close to flat-out poverty. Half of all Americans have no savings at all, and nearly 3 out of 4 people who have saved less than $1,000 on hand to cover emergency expenses. And according to the Wall Street Journal, more than 60% of our fellow Americans could not afford to repair their car if it needed a brake job. Many on the right claim that earning more is all about working harder and that those who struggle simply haven't pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. But the fact of the matter is that there aren't enough bootstraps to go around. According to the Alliance for a Just Society, there are 7 job applicants for every job opening that pays more than $15 an hour. And for those who take a job paying less, it's almost impossible to make ends meet, even with 2 people working full-time in one household. There simply aren't enough good-paying jobs to go around, and Republicans in Congress refuse to raise wages or invest in the type of education and infrastructure that would make those kinds of jobs available. The middle class has been destroyed by the billionaire class, and more Americans fall out of the middle class every day. In other words, for many people in our country, the American dream has become the American nightmare. This is not the country our grandparents worked to create, and this is not the country that we should leave to our grandchildren. We can do better. In this election cycle, we must fight harder than ever to elect those who will fight for us. We need lawmakers who want to restore the middle class and rebuild the American dream. Democracy begins with each of us, so let's get busy. Tag, you're it. Should screwing over workers disqualify you for president? Workers at Donald Trump's Vegas casino certainly think that it should. Last week, only one day before the Republican debate, Trump's lawyers launched a legal challenge to block 500 workers at his hotel from forming a union. Earlier this month, workers at the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas voted to join the Culinary Workers Union and Bartenders Union, both of which belong to a national union for hospitality workers. According to employees who spoke to the Think Progress blog, that lawsuit shows that the company is, quote, objecting to the outcome of the vote and wants to throw it out. Those workers have been fighting for more than a year to obtain the same rights as hospitality workers all over Vegas, like health coverage for family members and a guaranteed pension. Bethany Kahn of the Culinary Workers Union explained, quote, the Trump Hotel Las Vegas workers are paid approximately $3.33 less per hour across classifications compared to workers all around them who do the same work. And that's unacceptable. Perhaps it's time that someone asks Mr. Trump why he doesn't believe in workers' rights or democracy in the workplace. For the 12th year in a row, the United Nations Development Index has ranked Norway as the best country in the world to live. In comparison, the United States is number 8 on that list. Although Norway's honor was awarded based on several factors, shared prosperity lies at the heart of that nation's success. According to Jens Vandel, who heads the UN's development program, Norway has over time managed to increase its income and at the same time ensured that incomes are relatively evenly distributed. That country has proven that it's possible to get richer without screwing over the poor. Helen Clark, a UNDP administrator, said that this report is also an urgent call to tackle one of the world's greatest developing challenges, providing enough decent work and livelihoods for all. You know, if we really want to be exceptional, let's follow Norway's lead and embrace more shared prosperity policies right here at home. Maine's Governor Paul LePage has gone to great lengths to demonize the poor in his state. Thankfully, the federal government is finally getting involved to fight back on behalf of those residents. Due to LePage's policies, 2 out of 3 food stamp reapplications are not reviewed in a timely manner, and 1 out of 3 simply never receives a response at all. Last week, the Department of Agriculture issued a warning to the LePage administration, demanding that the state fix their food stamp application process or face significant penalties. In a letter to the governor's office, the USDA wrote, quote, Maine's poor timeliness performance negatively impacts SNAP clients across the state and must be addressed. They warned, this letter serves as advance notification the DHHS could soon be subject to suspension or disallowance of administrative funds. In other words, if Maine doesn't improve their food stamp application process, they will lose the federal matching funds that cover the cost of overseeing their food stamp program. Although this doesn't provide immediate relief to the struggling families who need help putting food on the table, it's a strong step toward fixing the damage that Republican Paul LePage has done to the SNAP program in his state. And finally, regardless of who you support in the 2016 race, the important part is getting involved and participating in our democracy. So it's pretty great news that Senator Bernie Sanders has received 2 million campaign contributions from folks just like you and me. That means that the Sanders campaign could surpass President Obama's 2012 record of 2.2 million contributions by the end of 2011. And with just an average donation of $20, Bernie Sanders says that these contributions show that he is accountable to people power, not to billionaires, not to corporations. And that's the way it is for the week of December 21st, 2015. I'm Thom Hartmann on the Economic and Labor News.